What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. I got all your Juventus news. All right, we're going to talk about the latest as a new midfield target has been named for Juventus. We've got a business model change that could affect two key cogs to Juve's current squad. All right, and then we've got a young gun potentially getting moved and Kean potentially getting moved. Why? Because he apparently does want out because he has zero intentions of renewing a contract with Juventus. We're going to tackle it all right now. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first, we got a birthday shout out, a massive birthday shout out going out to the one and only Il Principino. It is Claudio Marchisio's birthday, all right? Hey, there's not a lot left to be said for this guy other than he is simply uno di noi, all right? 389 appearances, 37 goals scored, 42 assists, 7 Scudetti won, 4 Coppa Italias, and 3 Supercopas, and sadly could not add a Champions League into the mix, but this guy was one of the best, so silky in the midfield. Loved watching Il Principino. Tanti auguri go out to him. Now we get to the business at hand. Juventus, all right, apparently seem in pole position to land Lazar Samardzic. Still no offers as of yet for the player from Juventus, but Mirko Di Natale says he does not rule out potentially a loan with obligation to purchase, and it would end up being a pricey loan to try and make this move. But as of right now, they have not acted to make this move final during this window, but it could still potentially happen. But it seems like they're setting things up for the summer with Samardzic, but they are in pole position to land the player. All right, Bernardeschi is listed as a last minute option and only that for Juventus, and Allegri does respect and admire the profile and the fact that he is a utility player, and maybe, just maybe, he could offer something different with Moise Kean most likely set to head away from Juventus during this window, all right? And we'll talk about Moise Kean in a bit. Koopmeiners continues to be named the top target for the summer. 40 million euros is what it could take to bring the player in, and it is being obviously widely reported that Juve is going to have to find a way to come up with the funds if they do want to splash 40 on Koopmeiners, and Soule is the one that continuously gets brought up as a sale, potentially around somewhere 25 million euros, all right? And he does have a lot of interest, all right? I think that price tag might be a little bit low. I think we could stretch it a little more, maybe 30 million euros, but he could be on his way out to facilitate a move. I got to ask all of you, if it's Koopmeiners coming in for 40, but you got to sell Soule for 25 or something to make it work, do you pull the trigger on that deal? Yes or no? Hit me on the comment section. You want my quick 2 cents? I probably would pull the trigger on that move. And I said on yesterday's video that I'm probably in the minority here, but out of our players and Chiesa being sold, etc., all this, Soule is the one I would sell probably right now at this moment. And I'm probably in the minority, but I would pull the trigger on that move. That's just me. Hit me in the comment section. All right, now we get to also with Moise Kean, we're going to get into this because he has zero intention of renewing his contract with Juventus. So this probably makes a sale imminent this summer. All right, and it's going to be interesting to see what develops here, because Juve is apparently talking with Moise Kean to try and correct this situation, because even an extension spreads out where he's at right now and is one of the hurdles about getting a deal. So a deal would probably be a little bit more difficult if all things remain, but apparently Kean has zero intention of renewing. They do continue to try and get things done with Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid has to move Anel Correa to get this done. If this happens, this could also apparently help with Juventus trying to get DePaul in the summer, as DePaul continues to be linked with Juventus, and Juventus apparently might try to make a move for the midfielder in the summer. So a lot to kind of tackle here and think about, but right as of now, it appears Moise Kean wants out. All right. As far as another target for the list for Juventus, you have Merino from Real Sociedad, and he is being linked now by multiple sources. He was linked previously about maybe a week ago, but it was very scarce and not a lot jumping on it. Now all of a sudden you have multiple sources jumping on it. So Merino on Juve's list. Okay, now we get to some interesting news with Rabiot and even Max Allergi as the business structure changes around Juventus. The latest with Rabiot is the same. Basically what we're hearing, that the end of the season is when the contract negotiations will take place between Juventus and his mother slash agent. All right, now as far as Juventus goes though, again, there's a couple things from Rabiot's side. One is Champions League, but the other might be Max Allergi. But again, getting to the business structure for Juventus, they're working on changing things with the wages. So all of a sudden, maybe that wage that Rabiot's getting isn't going to be available to him, and Juve might look at dropping that. Just like we were hearing the other day that gone are the days of Max Allegri's salary being at where it's at right now, and that would have to drop as well. So you have a lot at play right now. Champions League, I'm not concerned about. Juve will be in Champions League next season, okay? As far as Max Allegri's future, this thing could go either way as well. We covered it yesterday. The more and more reports come out today that he could choose to just terminate his contract if he doesn't get a contract extension, but he would also have to accept a pay cut to do so. In the end, I do actually think if he's offered an extension, even at a lower salary, I do believe Max Allegri would take it. Adrian Rabiot, however, I'm not so sure, because right now he is on course to have two very strong seasons, and maybe there will be an opportunity for him to make more money, and he could move to the Prem where he's wanted to go. So it's kind of all up in the air. It's going to be very interesting to follow, but like I've been saying for quite some time now, this summer is going to be a very interesting one coming forward for Juventus. All right, a lot of changes could happen. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. One change that is said to be final and heading that way this summer is Alex Sandro leaving Juventus. That is expected from all sources to go down this summer. The rumors about him potentially leaving this window seem to have faded off and died down, but those clubs do seem interested in. But again, why make a move right now in January for the player? It looks like he could be heading back to Brazil this summer. All right, that wraps up your news break. You guys know the drill. Hit me in the comments with what you think. Koopmeiners, would you sell Soule to facilitate bringing in Koopmeiners to Juventus? Hit me with what you think on that. And what do you think is actually going to go down right now? What's your prediction? Does Rabiot renew, and does Max Allegri get a contract extension? Hit me in the comments. Let's mix it up. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, obviously, and share the content. All right, I'll talk to you all tomorrow. All right, fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.